Well, folks, it looks like Kari Lake is finally tapping out. She filed a motion conceding that she is liable for defamation. Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer had sued her over the lies she spread about his handling of the election for Arizona governor in 2022. Now, Kari Lake, of course, is saying that this is all just a political hit job, and that's why she's bowing out. Take a look at this.
It is a political witch hunt, and everyone knows it. By participating in this lawsuit, it would only serve to legitimize this perversion of our legal system and allow bad actors to interfere in our upcoming election. So I won't be taking part.
Folks, I don't know about you all, but I am so sick and tired of these people. I am so sick and tired of watching them make a mockery out of our courts, make a mockery out of our elections, make a mockery out of our government and our system. And here she is conceding that, yes, I defamed this person, and she admits it. And the reason she did it is because she knew she was going to lose. So let's just go ahead and speed up to the part, how much do I owe this guy for defamation? Let's just go ahead and get there, because she didn't want it to go to trial. She didn't want it to all come out in the public, because she would be standing there with an empty sack like she has been this entire time. But even in admitting that she defamed this dude, she's still trying to say it's a witch hunt. It's one of the most ridiculous things we've ever had to live through and endure. You know, when I was growing up, the Republican Party always said they were the party of responsibility and accountability. And one of their biggest punchlines was pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, that includes when you lose, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Go back to the drawing board and figure out why you couldn't connect with voters, and then go back out there and try it again. Are we ever going to have an election in this country again where two people runs for an office? One person wins, comes out, gives his victory speech or her victory speech, and the next person comes out and gives their speech that they concede and, okay, I fought a good fight, I'll try it again next time. Will we ever see that again? Or is MAGA always going to be playing this worn out shtick of we can't be beat, the entire system is rigged against us? It is such an arrogant form of belief, and they don't even see it. But I view it as complete arrogance that they can't imagine that they could ever lose. That they can't imagine that people would actually vote against them. They can't imagine that their ideas are ancient and their ideas are out of touch with 2024. It's amazing to me how instead of saying, hey, what kind of new ideas can we come up with, they just double down and say right out loud, yeah, let's just go back to the 50s. Let's go back and live in the 1950s. They want to take everybody backwards when society is naturally always going to be moving forward, whether you like it or not. And when you lose, you have to be the bigger person, and you have to say, okay, we lost. Let's go back to the drawing board, and let's see if we can't pull it off the next time. And you sit back and you let your opponent do their thing, and you see how they do their job. And if you disagree with how they do their job, or you see the faults or the flaws in how they do their job, then you step forward and say, hey, I could have done this better. And you try it again. But MAGA has done nothing but make a mockery out of our courts, to the point that now nobody trusts the courts anymore. They've made an absolute mockery out of government, to where more and more people now distrust the government. They've made a mockery out of medicine and science, to where people are never going to listen to them again. And they've done every bit of this to dodge accountability. They've done every bit of this because they weren't willing to accept defeat. They've done every bit of this because they weren't willing to go back to the drawing board and come up with a fresh set of ideas and a new look. Hell, even pro wrestlers will change up their gimmick from time to time. Even The Undertaker decided to be a biker one day. I mean, it's ridiculous that they don't realize, hey, your ideas are out of touch. The majority of America doesn't like this bullshit. MAGA, in my opinion, is a very, very extremely loud minority. I do not feel they're the majority. I feel like they are an extremely loud minority. Yes, there's a lot of them, but I have a feeling there's much more reasonable people sitting back on the fence. And whether those people call themselves Republican, Democrat, or Independent, there are reasonable people out there who don't buy into this bullshit. And there are reasonable people out there who, when they lose an election, will step up and say, okay, you know, the better person won, I'll try again next time. I really believe that at the end of the day, there are more people out there with the voice of reason. But MAGA is something that, I mean, it sells tickets. People love to talk about it. Here we are. We're all talking about it because I can be honest with you. I'm not talking about it for clicks. I'm talking about it to raise awareness And I'm talking about it so that more people will start waking up so it can hurry up and go the fuck away. Because I'm so tired of seeing the system being made a mockery of. And I'm so tired of people standing up and saying, yep, I'm guilty. I'm guilty, Your Honor. I did that. How much do I owe? And then walk outside and say, I just did that because it was a witch hunt. I did that because I couldn't. The system was rigged against me. They wouldn't let me show my evidence. I'm so tired of that worn out shtick. And Kari Lake has wrote it and cashed in on it, and so many other people are cashing in on that kind of grift, and it's absolutely disgusting. We have to get back to being a country of accountability, responsibility. We have to get back to being a country where evidence and facts matter and where wins and losses matter. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, okay? That's just life. I've won plenty in my lifetime and I've lost plenty. I've had some of the worst days of my life followed by the best days of my life. It happens to all of us. But I didn't sit here and whine and cry about it for the rest of my life. You got to get up, dust yourself off, and move on. And when you're wrong, you admit it. You say it out loud. I was wrong. I screwed up. But with MAGA, it's just, I was wrong. I screwed up. Oh, I just said that because they are after me. No, you said that because you were caught. You said that because your lies ran out. And that's what's going to happen to MAGA, folks. Eventually, the lies are going to run out. You know, how many TV shows have you seen? How many movies have you watched where some charismatic, slick-talking dude would come to town? I mean, it's happened on every show out there. Some slick-talking, charismatic dude comes to town, and he wins the crowd over, and they love him. And then things begin to come out on him, or he gets caught on a hot mic, and the whole town turns against him and rallies against him. Well, we've been waiting for that moment ever since Donald Trump came down that damn escalator. We have been waiting for the moment that people would finally wake up and say, hey, wait a minute, we've been played. It's been a long time. There's some people starting to wake up, some people starting to come around, but more people needs to, and that's why we have to keep talking about this. We keep talking about this until we make it go away forever, and until we look back at it one day and go, damn, how did we ever get into that boat? How did we ever end up there? That's the question we need to ask ourselves so that it never, ever happens again.